Welcome to Baltimore's 5th Council District, where thoroughbreds often find their pace and where members of the city's Jewish community often find their place. It's also the place where Isaac Yitzy Schleifer has forever called home.
We have water main breaks. We have fires in the district.
For the past 8 years, Schleifer has represented this Northwestern district on the city council and admits he's still guided by the same principle.
You know, I always wanted to just improve the quality of life for the community, for my district, for the city.
But Schleifer has learned that improvements don't come without a fight. In a joint interview with the Baltimore Sun this week, we questioned the councilman about the problems and priorities in the city's 5th district.
What needs to be fixed?
Public safety is first and foremost. If people don't feel safe in their community, don't feel safe in their city, nothing else really matters.
Are you satisfied with the amount of legislation that you've proposed and that you've gotten passed? Have you been effective?
I don't just introduce legislation just to introduce it. Most of the legislation, if you look at what I introduce, is really based off of what my constituents need.
In fact, in his 8 years in office, Schleifer has sponsored 46 different ordinances. 27 of them have passed. Of the 61 resolutions he sponsored, 37 of them have passed. One of them called for increased salaries for sanitation workers. Another called for increased rewards for information about violent criminals. Another measure called for increased fines for street racing. But his resolution calling for the council to condemn anti-Semitism went down in defeat.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is painful to see that, when it's against Jews, it's okay, but when it's against anybody else, if leaders fail to condemn this kind of hate and rhetoric against anybody, it gives people sort of the freedom to go ahead and to do that, and that's what we're seeing.
Aside from the legislation, Schleifer says his priority is addressing the countless number of constituent calls.
There's all these problems and there's all these council people, but it seems like we never get very far.
So it depends who you ask. I mean, people are focused on what's important to them. Most important thing that we can do to fundamentally change the city is to increase the population.
Schleifer is convinced the city's problems will go when the population grows.
If the city got up to a million people again, what you would see is, first of all, there would be a tremendous amount of investment, private investment taking place in the city. You would see communities flourishing.
But until then, his focus is on his constituents, one problem at a time.
And I think on a day-to-day basis, solving people's problems is the victories.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.